Welcome to the Chronic Spoonful podcast, where we discuss real life with real chronic illness. Each week, we'll cover an aspect of real life spoony living and what that can mean for different chronic illnesses. We hope this will be a place you can go for updated spoony info and where you'll find humor, because, we're a little crazy, important information, and community. As a disclaimer, we just want to remind you that yes, we'll be talking about chronic illness and health information, but we are not your doctor. Everyone's chronic illness is different, and we are absolutely not MDs, so we are not qualified to give you medical advice. We're going to tell you unequivocally to discuss anything we talk about on this podcast with your doctor.
All right, welcome back, everyone. Sorry we took a little time away. I know you guys missed us. We have just had some fun times going on. So, obviously there's some news noteworthies. Why do I have such a problem saying this, Nicole?
I don't know. It's a good question.
New and noteworthy stuff.
There you go.
Let's see. COVID land. There's just always stuff going on in COVID land. They announced that they're really moving forward on this pill.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is really exciting.
And so, maybe some people won't die.
Hope so. I hope the pill turns out to work wonders. But it does not work in place of a vaccine. So
no. Oh, absolutely not.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see if some anti-vaxxers are going to be willing to take the pill, though. Vaccine. Who knows? I question that. So there's that. And then they announced that there's a new rapid test that is looking for approval.
Yes.
So that can help get testing faster.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't think that helps prevent COVID, but it helps.
No. It helps with the pill because you want to give the pill early as possible. You can't give it past a certain time. So a new rapid test that would work would be amazing.
Well, I think, though, it helps test more people. And I think the more people you can test and the sooner someone's positive, the fewer people that person would come in contact with. Mm-hmm. So it helps stave off the spread of COVID, which I think is really nice. Very, very helpful. And there's just more restrictions going into place. There's more places saying you have to be vaccinated to show up to come to this. More people are getting arrested for forging.
Yeah, they sure are.
Vaccine guards. And you guys, I think we're finally starting to make some progress with this. My mom texts me. She's like, I got my booster shot, because she's of a certain age that I won't name, but she qualifies. And she's like, but they're saying we might have to get them yearly. And I was like, but they've been kind of saying that all along.
Yeah.
We were going to need boosters.
You do with the flu shot too.
Right. I was like, this should not be a surprise to anyone. So in case anyone's surprised, like my mom, guys, we're probably going to need boosters all along.
Yeah.
Like the flu shot, just like everything, that we'll probably need to get booster shots at least annually, if not more often. And why
not that bad?
It's a shot in the arm.
Yeah. It takes 2 seconds. You go home.
Exactly. So all good. I just feel like for once I had all good news on the COVID front. And the number of kids hospitalized is going down.
Thank God.
It's still a quarter of the number of hospitalizations, but the number of children is decreasing, which is very exciting.
Yes, very.
Because it really bothered me that children were taking the brunt of this, and that just to do with going back to school.
Yeah.
And now I think was Pfizer approved for age 5.
They say in 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Which is really, really great.
I know, it's so helpful. You guys, it's been just I think really positive movement on the COVID front right now. And we need positive movement. It's been negative. It's been so negative.
That's so rough.
And I really felt like, yay, some positive news. Hooray. I mean, people are still getting sick and people are still dying, but we're doing more and more to, try and prevent this. And maybe that means, people can actually get together for the holidays in safe numbers and ways, like just close family, maybe.
It's still tricky because you have families that are close where half aren't vaccinated, half are. So the holidays are still going to be extremely tricky. People are still not going to listen. We're still going to see a lot of cases. It's just going to be what it is.
Everyone celebrates in a hazmat suit.
Mm-hmm.
Look what I got you for Christmas. It's a hazmat suit.
But I got it for you in pink.
Hey, I put some zebra stripes on it.
Exactly. We can dress up. We'll pretend like it's Halloween.
Sparkles.
Yeah. Well, there must be sparkles.
Always sparkles.
Yes.
Yeah, guys, I know Dr. Fauci said, he wasn't sure what the holidays would look like and people like eviscerated him for it, but he's right. We just don't know yet. So patience, my friends, patience, but
we just got to wait it out.
Just take the good news for what it is. It's good news.
Yes. Let's just be happy about the advancements.
But Nicole, how's your week been?
It's been really rough. It's been a rough couple of weeks. I have my best friend's husband is dying, and that's been really rough. And the change of weather here is really putting my body. I mean, every year that happens to me, spring and then going in from summer to fall and winter, it's very, very hard in my body. Any changes. I love the fall. I love the winter because I always feel better, but just the change of season is just killing my body right now.
Yeah, it's the change of season is, while we welcome the fall, we always want to welcome the fall.
Yes.
It's a lovely change from the heat. Yeah, it's been a little bit rough. And yeah, the stress of death is horrible. And you've been working and putting your body through too much.
Yeah, I've had a lot going on.
I text Nicole all the time. I'm like, you need to sleep.
I know. And I haven't been sleeping well either because the change of season always messes up. I mean, I have insomnia anyway, but it messes up my normal insomnia. So I like up till like 2:30 in the morning every night, just like tossing and turning. And last night I didn't fall asleep till like 3. And then I had to get up. I woke up at like 7 and I couldn't go back to sleep. And I'm like, oh man, come on.
Yeah.
So I tired.
She's so tired.
I'm so tired.
Yeah, I'm dealing with an excessive amount of fatigue. That's where I am.
That sucks.
And, I had a clean MRI, so that's good.
Yay!
MRI of my brain, by the way. Should clarify what I had an MRI of. MRI of my brain is clean.
So happy that's okay.
Yeah, but I am having the hemifacial spasms. I had a really bad allergic reaction to I don't know what, and my face swelled up. You guys can see it on the Instagram page if you would like the morbid look at what it was to be able to smile. Nicole's like, what is wrong with your face? No. I don't know. I can't even speak. Yes. My throat did not close up. It was just like all swelling of my face. I had a rash down my chest, on my hands. We have no idea what I reacted to. So it's been a really fun week of doctor's appointments and, seeing a new rheumatologist who is amazing, neuro-ophthalmologist who's great.
That's so great.
Living the chronic illness life of your chronic illness is your full-time job and all you do is see doctors.
It really is. It really feels like that, doesn't it?
It totally feels like that. Totally does. But the MRI was the scariest part because we just didn't know why I'm having these twitches on my eyes and part of my face. And at least we know it's not a tumor.
I knew you were going to do that.
Hey, come on. It was ripe for it.
You had to take that moment.
I had to, guys.
I love it.
That joke's found. But it's not a tumor and there's no like spots or anything or nothing really pressing on the nerve. So it's just idiopathic. And we will see. We will see what happens. Hopefully it doesn't get worse. and we can just leave it as is. Otherwise, my face for the very first time will get Botox. You don't want Botox.
Mm-mm.
My baby skin.
Exactly.
Yeah, guys, I'm 50 years old and I am like, not like, I'm like, I don't want Botox.
And you look 30.
Well, welcome to EDS.
You have a baby face.
Baby skin. Oh,
You're very fortunate.
If all of you all want Botox, you go get Botox.
Yes.
I am like, I don't need Botox. I don't have lines.
Right.
But if the twitching gets worse, it's Botox that they have to inject. Whatever.
As long as it helps, that's what's most important.
I suppose.
I don't think we want half of the treatments we get, have to take.
It's like taking the steroids for the allergies. I was like, my face is a little moony looking. We're like 5 days. And I was like, why is it puffy? And I was like, oh yeah, I'm taking steroids. And it got puffy within the 5 days.
Yeah. I hate having moon face. I hate it.
Yeah. So I'm like, because she's like, you might gain weight. And I was like, it's 5 days. She's like, yeah, it's probably water weight. And I was like, but 5 days. It's crazy. And I was like, I need more weight. The gabapentin took care of that for me. I can't fit into anything in my closet.
Uh-huh.
I don't want to buy a new wardrobe.
No.
Like, that costs money, people.
Yeah, it does.
I like my clothes and I can't wear anything in the closet.
Me neither. I know it's an awful feeling.
Thank you, gabapentin. I guess that brings us to our topic for today. So gaining weight is, probably weight is actually part of what we deal with in chronic illness, whether it's gaining weight or not being able to gain weight. We've talked about that on our body image episode, like how we look, how we feel, the clothes in our closets, everything. But that's body image. There's another side of it that is the nutrition side, what we put in our mouths. And it's the diet culture side. There's the diet culture side that tells you don't look good enough. You don't present as a perfect size 0, 6 feet tall. And, your clothes all fit perfectly on a hanger and they should look that way on you, which is like, whatever. By the way, I'm never going to look like that. And I don't want to. I like my curves. That's body image. But what you put in your mouth, there's also a diet culture side of that, where there's a shaming or a, hey, try this fad diet that we also deal with, especially with chronic illness, because you always have those people that you're like, I've got MS. And they're like, oh, I've got this diet that will work perfectly to help you. And it'll totally cure MS.
Yep.
Guys, there's no diet that's going to cure your chronic illness.
Mm-mm.
There's no diet that's going to cure anything. It might alleviate some symptoms. What you eat might alleviate some symptoms. Not going to cure. Doesn't quite work that way. So, and I'm not speaking from a medical standpoint, but I'm positive I have about 1 million doctors behind me screaming, yes. And dietitians going, thank you. Say it again. But what diet culture has done is it's kind of like skewed our brains that we need to like eat a certain diet that has a name or a fad diet or follow this influencer or do this thing. And it's going to be a miracle. It's going to be a miracle, Nicole.
Mm-hmm.
And part of that is, Facebook and Instagram and TikTok and all these things that have like done this and
magazines and
they've all done this. Follow this new diet that's come out.
Mm-hmm.
Like when Atkins came out.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone wanted to do Atkins.
Yeah.
Me, because I was like, ew, that's all fat and meat. Guys, I don't like fat and meat. So it was like the grossest diet I've ever seen. But people wanted to do it.
Yeah. It was very big. I remember like so many people talking about it or trying it, like it was such a craze.
Now it's keto. Everyone keto.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you just, there's always something that's going to come out, but people love to shove these diets in front of us saying that they're going to cure our illness or make us feel amazing. And, oh my gosh, your collagen isn't working. This diet's going to like replenish all your collagen. No, it's not. We wanted to talk a little bit today about diet culture and what it means for us in the Spoonie community and the impact it has on us in the Spoonie community. If you can tell, I get a little passionate about it. Me get passionate about things. I don't know. Nicole's over there laughing silently. I can see her face. But we thought it might be helpful because it's something that seems to be coming up a lot, like these diets and people talking about them, this changed my life and all this stuff. So I think it's really important that we have this conversation right now.
Yeah.
Because Nicole, you've tried several different diets, but you've done it with your dietitian.
Yeah.
Doctor, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. I always make sure that I consult a dietitian. I have a lot of nutrition knowledge, fortunately, but I always consult a dietitian.
And what have they told you when you want to try a different diet? Like, what are the things that they ask you?
Well, I haven't done a lot of fad diets because I don't believe in fad diets, but there were a couple of diets that came up that I thought were really interesting. So I have a functional medicine dietitian, and she's wonderful. And I brought up different things, and she said, okay, she told me, like, if I brought up something, well, this is my concern with this, and this is why. And so if that was something that wasn't good, we moved away from that and talked about something else. And then she would break down why these certain elements are important to your body and what you needed to get from them. So it was really helpful having that input because that's stuff I didn't know.
Right. So basically, I think it's important when we're looking at anything, any diet that we see, first of all, the number one thing is to make sure we're discussing it with a dietitian.
Yes.
A doctor can be helpful, but they don't get much nutritional guidance.
They don't in their schooling. No.
Right. I've had a number of doctors be like, just eat more salads. And I'm like, dude, I can't eat lettuce.
Right.
What are you talking about? That's
their knowledge is very basic in that area. Yeah.
Right. And then when I tell them that, they're totally stuck. They're totally stuck. They have no idea what to tell me after I tell them I can't eat a salad.
Oh, I bet. I believe it.
Right? And you should even hear them when people are like, I'm vegan. And they're like, okay, that might be good for you, but like, what are you going to eat if you can't eat meat? Oh gosh. Okay. So it gets really hard. Their knowledge is limited, and I'm not faulting doctors. They just don't get a ton they don't spend a ton of time on it, and they shouldn't. That if it's not their specialty, guys.
Definitely not.
What they should do is refer you out to a dietitian.
Yes.
And they should refer you out to someone who studies this stuff extensively.
Yes. Yes.
And when I mean extensively, like I've talked to dietitians who like blow my mind with their knowledge.
Oh my gosh. They go through so much schooling and they have so much to learn. It is mind blowing.
Yeah. It's incredible how much knowledge they have of like, I learned, I think I said this on another podcast once, but I learned the other day about like how the different types of wheat have the different gluten elements.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a gluten allergy, it might not be severe enough. So you could eat European wheat versus American wheat and not be affected because of the type of, they use, like, I can't remember if it's red or white wheat.
Right.
We use red or white wheat. And so like, you might just have an allergy to a certain type of gluten. So you might be able to eat that type of wheat and not this. And I was like, oh my gosh, you guys are blowing my mind right now.
Yeah.
I just have an allergy and you just couldn't eat any gluten.
It's fascinating.
It is so incredible. And like, it is so incredible the detail that they can go into in this realm of food. And really a dietitian is going to be the person to talk to, because when you look at when you look at diets, and you look at these very restrictive diets, they limit you. They limit your food. Mm-hmm. And I've always found that if you tell me I can't do something, I'm going to want to do something.
So true. Me too.
Like it's out there and it's like I can't eat, never loved salad. But as soon as I couldn't eat salad, all I wanted was salad.
Was a salad?
All I want now is a nice big salad.
Yeah.
And I can't have it because it causes me great pain because I can't digest the lettuce properly. If I wasn't that person who ate a ton of salads before,
Right.
also maybe because it bothered me, but still, I didn't crave salad. Now I crave salad.
That just sucks.
It's on a menu and I'll be like, that salad looks so good.
No.
And people are like, are you insane? The sundae looks good. I'm like, no, the lettuce.
It's like, I want the lettuce. I can't have it, but I want it.
It's really, but that's, so when things get restrictive, they suddenly become something you want more. And that's why people fail on these diets.
Yeah.
A lot.
Mm-hmm.
Restrictive. When you see a dietitian, it becomes less about restricting and more about opening you up to things like what can you eat? What can you do? What will work for you? It's not as restrictive. I mean, yes, you're going to have food you can't eat, obviously, because obviously, like if you're diabetic, they're going to tell you not to eat candy all night long.
Yeah, exactly.
Also not going to tell you that, once in a blue moon, that tiny piece of candy you ate isn't going to be the end of your world.
Right.
Unlike a fad diet, which likely will tell you it's the end of your world. So there's a difference between, seeing a registered dietitian who will walk you through, okay, if you have that craving and it's getting overwhelming, have that cupcake.
Yeah.
How do you balance that cupcake with the rest of your day?
Yes.
It becomes a lifestyle, not a fad diet.
Mm-hmm.
And we're seeing that. And yes, I know that there's going to be people who are going to probably scream at us and they're like, keto's the best thing I've ever done. How can you disparage this diet? I understand keto works for people and I get it. And I do get it. But there's a reason why it's not recommended by some of the major health associations.
Especially long-term.
Correct. It does work in the short term. It's easy for a lot of people to follow. And I understand that. But in the long term, it doesn't have the health effects that you see in the short term.
Mm-hmm.
And there's plenty of studies that show that.
Yeah.
You can research those studies, but it does work for some people in the short term. Does it mean you should do keto? It means you should talk to your dietitian about what will work for you. If there's aspects of the keto diet that you're like, I really kind of like what it's saying. I really kind of like the aspects of it. I think I could follow something like this. Talk to your dietitian to see if those aspects can be incorporated into your daily diet.
Most definitely. When I talked to my dietitian at one point, we had talked about substitutions for things that were bothering me, but there were things that she mentioned that I had never even heard of that opened up this whole new world of things that I love. And that's a great aspect of it.
There are foods out there, you guys, that you may never have heard of, that you just need to open up and try. Like I introduced Nicole, who hasn't tried them yet, to kiwi berries.
I can't wait to try them because I love kiwi so much.
And they're these tiny little kiwi, like they're the size of like a kumquat, or which some of you may not even know what a kumquat is. They're a little bit bigger than a grape. And they're just like shrunken down kiwis that don't have the fuzzy skin on the outside, and you just eat them whole.
They look so cute when you sent me a picture.
Exactly like a kiwi.
Ooh.
And they are so good. But who knew that they were out there? And one day I got something like they were a thing that was available in my imperfect foods thing. And I was like, oh, I'm going to try them. And I am obsessed. I'm obsessed with them. So whenever they're available, I'm like, yes, please. Yes, please. So being willing to try like the new foods that maybe your dietitian recommends to you, it can open up a new world of eating.
Most definitely.
And you just never know what you're going to end up loving.
Yeah.
I never tried pumpkin until I was in my 30s,
Oh,
and
wow.
I'm obsessed with pumpkin now.
Isn't it wonderful? Me too.
Pumpkin lasagna. Mm.
Oh, I can't even try that, but okay, we'll still go with pumpkin.
Oh, poor Nicole. She misses out on all the good stuff. But no,
Yes, yes,
guys,
yes.
like spaghetti squash. Who would have
Oh, I love that.
like substituting spaghetti squash for noodles?
Yeah.
And I love it. Like I will eat spaghetti squash. I do that with uh some onions, some sauce,
Mm.
chard, and you bake it with just a little bit of mozzarella on the top. Oh, you guys, I could go through recipes that are my favorite.
You know what
But
I found that I love is
yes,
chickpea pasta. Have you tried that?
yes,
Did
that
you
is
like it?
so good.
I
If
loved
it's
it.
cooked well enough.
Yes.
If it's not cooked well enough, you guys, it's not.
No.
Make sure you
No.
cook it well enough.
Yes.
Yes, it's really good. There's all kinds of things you can substitute in for different things. Like I can't eat, so I love pho,
Okay.
all these fresh ingredients in your soup, but I can't eat the rice noodles, obviously, because I can't eat rice. So I just use ramen noodles
Oh,
in it
smart.
instead. And it's great. It's great. But I just like the pho because of you put in all these fresh vegetables.
Oh, yum.
And it's such a good meal. So you guys like trying all these new things, trying all these fresh things, and they don't have to be expensive.
No.
You can use, there's farmers markets
Yeah.
in the summertime, in the fall, for most places of the country. If you're in like California, there's farmers markets year round. We're lucky. There's, and there's no shame in frozen vegetables, in canned vegetables, in any of those things. I know that there's like, oh, well, the studies say never to use them. Great. The studies say that. But you know what? You can afford what you can afford. And you can get what you can get. Like, not all parts of the country get fresh mangoes
Nope.
from trees.
Unfortunately.
Sometimes you got to go buy frozen mangoes.
Yeah.
It like you get it's okay, guys, to make a smoothie with frozen mangoes because that's what your part of the country gets. But the key is to get the nutrition from that. The key is to eat your vegetables. The key is to eat what your dietitian is asking you to eat. And your dietitian should not be shaming you either for that, because you should not have to travel 200 miles to go get the things your dietitian is telling you.
Nope.
Like, no one should be doing that. If your dietitian is shaming you because you chose to buy an 89-cent can of green beans because the bag of green beans was $4 and you're on a limited budget, you need to either A, be honest with your dietitian about what you can afford.
Absolutely.
Or B, you need to find a dietitian that works with your budget.
Oh, absolutely. And be honest with your dietitian about your budget, which is very important. Saying, I don't have a lot of money for food. What are some healthy options for me?
Correct. Because they should be able to work with your budget. They should be able to work with what you're getting. If you're getting your food from a food pantry, they should be able to work with what you're getting. Like
Yeah.
I have a friend who gets her food from a food pantry and SNAP benefits. That's what she does. And the food she gets from this organization that does the food pantry, like she gets staples. So, rice, potatoes, all that stuff. So she works she finds recipes that are super healthy, but she works with the dietitian to say, okay, these are my staples. How do I make this healthy?
Yeah.
Because you can definitely make potatoes very unhealthy.
Oh my gosh, how about it?
Because they're very starchy. But she's like, but in that they get like a lot of great canned vegetables. They get a lot of great fresh vegetables in those things. So she works with all of that stuff to like make healthy foods for herself and her kids as best she can. And you guys, it's as best as you can.
Yep.
No one, and this is the other part of diet culture that really gets under my skin, and this is when I'm going to get really passionate right now. No one should be shaming you for your food. Like if you're drinking tap water because you don't want to drink alkaline water, drink your tap water. You don't need to buy that fancy alkaline water machine, which is, by the way, you don't need alkaline water, guys, unless your doctor tells you you need alkaline water. I'm so tired of influencers shaming people into buying products they don't need.
Same with weight. They do it with weight too, weight and diet culture.
Yeah, I'm going to stand on a soapbox right now, but there are so many people out there that are like, why are you buying regular oat milk? You need to be buying this like super supplemented oat milk that's like $15 for a quart. You know what? Regular oat milk is just fine. And then take your $3 supplements that your doctor and your dietitian told you to take. You guys, it's something that gets under my skin a lot because people believe these influencers. Yeah. And it has to stop. It has to stop. And we have to stop believing it. We have to stop believing it. We have to stop believing there's miracle cures. We have to and it's so easy for us because we want to believe it, guys. We want to believe it. We want to believe this is going to work for us because we've dealt with so much pain and we've dealt with so much agony and we deal with so much shame. Well, your body looks that way because you're lazy. You don't do enough to stay thin. You don't do enough to get that perfect muscle tone. You don't do enough. You don't eat right to do that.
Yeah. Or the people who spend 4 hours in their makeup every morning, and to look a certain way that's popular going right now.
Right. But we almost faint when we take a shower.
Right. Yeah. I can't do that.
No, I can't either. And there's a lot of us that can't, you guys. There's a lot of us out there that can't do all that.
No.
And so this diet culture where people are shaming you because you bought frozen peas over going to a farmer's market and buying fresh peas from that guy who grows peas on that mountain on the mountainside in Canada's northernmost province.
Right.
Just stop, guys. We don't need to do that. Just buy your peas.
Yeah.
Buy the peas. And you eat them because I won't.
Right.
Because I don't like peas. Eat all the peas.
I like peas.
Nicole will eat all the peas.
I'll eat all the peas.
There you go.
I love
them.
But
no, you guys, we just do what you can with what you can. And that's my soapbox for today. Do what you can with what you can and be proud of it.
Absolutely. Be proud of yourself.
You did what you could with what you could.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a day where you cheated,
it's okay.
It's okay. You've been talking to your dietitian and you've been, you've got your diet, but you know what? Susie Cakes was over there and Susie Cakes makes really good chocolate chip cookies. Guys, we should be getting paid for all the advertising we're doing. And by the way, Susie Cakes makes really good chocolate chip cookies. So if you're ever in LA, Susie Cakes, guys.
I was going to say, I haven't heard of those.
And no, that's not paid advertising. That's just me being obsessed with Susie Cakes chocolate chip cookies. If you want one of their chocolate chip cookies one day and you eat it, you guys don't drown in your shame. It's okay. You guys know that you're going to eat regular the rest of the time. We all have those days. We all have those days where we are, not doing okay. We all have those weeks when we're not doing okay. You talk to your dietitian about how to handle that.
Yeah.
You talk to your therapist about, I am not dealing with life okay and I'm emotionally eating.
Yeah.
Or, you know what, dietitian, I lost my job and I can no longer buy the things I used to buy.
Yes. How
do I manage this? I'm having another baby. I need to change what I'm doing. I've decided to go vegan. How do I do that?
Mm-hmm.
And my family doesn't like what I'm feeding them that you've told me to eat. How do I balance all this? There's questions you can ask. That's what they're there for.
And they will help you work through it.
They are your nutritional therapist.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. I like that. That's a great way to put it.
Nutritional therapist. And you guys, when you work with your dietitian and you eat right, you actually will feel better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, much better.
Shockingly.
Yeah.
You will feel better. Will it cure your disease, Nicole? But it helps. And it helps.
Yeah. And that's what we're looking for.
Yeah. But I think we wanted to talk more about like diet culture because we're seeing it everywhere, guys.
Everywhere.
And we are all victims to it. I mean, Nicole and I do. We're like, did you see this? This looks amazing. We should try this. And then we do some research on it and we're like, we should not try this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So true.
Do some research or talk
Important.
to a dietitian.
Yes. Always important to do your own research too.
Because I've fallen victim to the fad dieting. I did it. I did Slim Fast once.
I did too.
I hated
and I
it.
was starving.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't do it. I was so hungry that I was angry all the time.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I did. I didn't do Atkins, but I did like a high protein, low carb diet. I got fatter. And I say fatter because literally got fatter. And that's because I would eat like the high protein cookies and the high protein. I cheated on that diet in ways that weren't technically cheating, but I just couldn't do it because I don't like meat. So yeah, that's why we're saying like fad diets are not necessarily the way to go, because like, why am I going to do a high protein diet when I despise meat so much?
I tried that a long time ago, like 20 years ago, and I had really bad reflux. I was sick as a dog from all the fat.
Ooh, not good.
Yeah, no, I quit that. And that's when I realized, okay, you know what? I need to talk to a professional. I need to understand what I really need to be putting into my body that's going to help me in the long run.
But see, here's the other side too. Like I went vegetarian when I was in my late teens. I became anemic because I didn't do it right. Guys, I didn't do it right. So like, we're not just talking fad diets. We're talking like being vegetarian is not a bad thing. Being vegan is not a bad thing if you do it right. And if you do it right, you can maintain a balance of your iron content and your protein and all the things you need in your body. So that's why the dietitian is so important to us. And like, we all have different needs for our body. Like some of us may need more iron. Some of us may need more folic acid. Some of us, like me, I need an insane amount of vitamin D. And I need like really high levels of salt. Really, like with my POTS, I need really, really, really high levels of salt. So like I couldn't go on a diet that was like, don't have salt. Really, guys? I'm going to be fainting all the time. So that's, like I would need to see a dietitian that was like, let's find ways to add more salt to your diet. You guys just be careful out there. Don't let the influencers be that influential. But have fun with it too. Food is fun. Nicole's looking at me like I'm crazy.
I'm like, but you know what? You enjoy cooking.
I do.
And I don't very much. But I enjoy new things and I enjoy trying new things.
Nicole enjoys when other people cook for her.
Yes, that's the key. When I get married, if I get married one day, I need to marry somebody who can cook or we're going to be hungry.
Nicole was looking at me like, this is why you need to live closer so you can cook for me.
Yes. I'll buy the groceries. Could you just cook it?
I can if you can go find me some squash blossoms.
I can do that.
See, I'm obsessing over squash blossoms lately, guys. And
it sounds so good.
They're so good stuffed. See, we're going to go down I'm going to go down a food rabbit hole right now, guys. Don't make me do it. No,
you're making me hungry.
I know I will. And that's the problem if we keep talking. So I'm going to just kind of put the kibosh on this right now. And no, really, we want you guys to feel good about your food. And I think that's kind of what we wanted to talk about, because we've talked about body image and we've talked about feeling good about your body, but part of feeling good about yourself is also feeling good about what you're putting in your body. Mm-hmm. And that's why talking to a dietitian is important. And a lot of people, because of diet culture, don't feel good about what they're putting in their bodies because they see food as the enemy, and food is not the enemy.
No, it's not.
It should never be the enemy. Food feeds you, it feeds your body,
Nourishes you.
nourishes you, it gives you fuel. And in my case, it makes me happy. Like, I like making a meal. I like the way food tastes. I like the way it looks on a plate and all that stuff. I want food to make people happy. Should have probably been a dietitian, but whatever.
I was just gonna say that.
But no, really, food is your fuel. It feeds your body. It makes your body happy. It should make your body happy. So meet with a dietitian, talk to a dietitian. If you see something that sounds interesting, talk to your dietitian about it. Do the research on it. But don't just jump into a diet because everyone's talking about it, or because, Susie Q down the street said she's been doing it for ages and she feels wonderful on it.
That's right.
Because like I said, our bodies are special.
They are, and our bodies are different. So just 'cause it's working for Susie doesn't mean it's going to work for us.
Correct. And even if Susie has the same disorder as you, it doesn't mean it's going to work.
That's right.
So yeah, just keep plugging on, guys. Keep plugging on and keep your heads up and do what you got to do.
Yes.
All right, everyone. We want you all to have a good week. Eat good food.
Yes.
Take care of yourselves and stay positive.
Yeah. Have a great week, you guys.
Have a great week.
Bye.